Hello traders, Kieran here. Today we're looking at the funded trader program from TopStepFX. Now, if you're not familiar with what a funded trader program is, it's essentially a program whereby you can manage money on behalf of a company and you will get paid a share of your profits. Now, there's quite a few companies at the moment offering programs in this space. I have videos on my channel of all of the main ones. So you'll be looking at FTMO, the Fivers, One-Up Trader, TopStep Trader, and the one we're going to look at today, TopStepFX. Now, TopStepFX looks like it's the same company as TopStep Trader. Each program is mentioned on each other's site, so I presume they're owned by the same company. TopStep Trader is a futures based program. It's very US focused. So TopStepFX is much more a FX only program. And if, like me, you live in Europe, the time zones for the times of the day when FX is at its most liquid is during the European markets. So for me, TopStepFX is the place to trade if I had to choose between TopStepFX and TopStep Trader, just because of where I live. So we're going to have a look today through the website at the requirements of how you can actually get a funded account with TopStepFX. We'll look at what the profit target is, what the requirements are, and we'll look at how you grow your account, everything to do with achieving that funded account status with TopStepFX. So the way these things usually work is you, first of all, go through an evaluation program, and then you make the funded account status. So as you can see here, TopStepFX have a two-step evaluation process. This is similar to FTMO. Obviously, it's the same as TopStep Trader. So you have two steps you have to complete, and then you get into the funded account status. So step one, as you can see, prove you can profit, step one. So step one, we'll come back to these things in a minute, is here. So what you have to do is you have to hit the profit target of $1,500 for this particular account choice. I should say there's a few different account choices here, and depending on which one you choose, your buying power will be slightly different. And with TopStepFX, the same as TopStep Trader, you actually have to pay a monthly fee to keep taking the evaluation. Now, FTMO and the Fivers, two other funded trader account programs, have one-off fees. And I personally prefer one-off fees because you know that if you need to trade longer than a month, you're not going to have to pay another round of subscriptions to cover that second month of trading. However, one thing is to say that the one-off fees in FTMO and the Fivers, they're much higher than the monthly fee here for TopStepFX. So whilst you will have to pay a monthly fee, it's much less. And if you're looking at to find a cheap funded account program to try and get involved in, maybe TopStepFX is a good place, because you can see here the lowest account is only $125 for a 200k buying power account. So that's not too bad. So yeah, it depends on really your confidence in terms of how fast you can get through the evaluation programs, in terms of choosing whether you want to stick with a smaller subscription, monthly subscription-based program, or to go for one of the larger one-off payment programs like FTMO. And by the way, all of the other programs that I mentioned in this video, I'll have links to all of them in the description below, directly to their program, so you can check them out and compare them for yourself. But anyway, so let's stick with just this middle one for our comparison. So this middle one here is a 300k account buying power. This costs $165 a month to take. So step one with the evaluation, we have to prove profitability. So we have to hit a profit target of $1,500 with an account loss limit of $2,000. So we have to make $1,500 before we lose $2,000. So that's not too difficult. You have to be careful with these small amounts of money, because as you see here, they allow you to trade 3 lots. Three lots is quite a sizable exposure when you have a loss limit of only $2,000. So I would recommend trading much more than this and building your way up to the profit target in step one slowly, making sure you don't hit the weekly loss limit or the account loss limit of $2,000. All positions must be closed by the end of the US session on Friday. This is fairly standard across the funded trader account industry. The 5%ers, which is one of the programs I have a video of on my channel, is the only program as of now that allows you to keep your positions open throughout the weekend. So if you're more of a long-term trader and you don't want to be managing your positions on a daily or even a weekly basis, and you just want to take some positions and leave them run over multiple weeks, check out the video on the 5ers. But for TopStepFX, you have to have all your positions closed by end of the market on Friday. And no positions open during major economic events. So this is fairly restrictive. We're talking about step one here, and you can see it's not ticked. So in step one, we don't have to adhere to this particular risk requirement. However, in step two and in a funded account, we have to. So this is actually pretty constraining. This means that you need to be managing. If you're going to trade a funded account with TopStepFX, you're going to have to be managing your account on a daily basis. So you're going to have to be day trading, because you have to be flat going into major economic events, and there are quite a few major economic events throughout the month. So bear that in mind if you are thinking of trading with TopStepFX. Okay, so once we pass step one, we hit our profit target of $1,500 without breaking our risk requirements here. We move to step two. So step two is manage risk, and the evaluation requirements for this are pretty much the same, except the profit target is now doubled. So you can now lose 2K. You can only lose 1K in a week, but you have to make 3K profit target. Now that is a lot more difficult because now you actually may have to make more profit than you can lose. I mean, it's still totally achievable. Again, though, with that $1,000 weekly loss limit, don't trade 3 lots because just the normal ebb and the flow of the market could really hurt your account. So I would trade much more than 3 lots and trade that account up to 3K. So some of the terminology that we've seen in the evaluation stage. Is there anything here that we need to look at? I think we talked about, okay, so when and what currency pairs can we trade? So in terms of which currency pairs we can trade, let's have a look. So we have 22 pairs we can trade here. It's not that exhaustive a list. There are other trading plans that offer you a much wider set of markets to trade. FTMO in particular, they have no limits on the asset classes you can trade. You can trade currencies, bonds, stocks, even some crypto. So if you're not into FX, check out FTMO. There's a link in the description. But for TopStepFX, you can trade 22 FX pairs. It's still not an exhaustive list, really. There are more pairs out there you would probably want to trade, but 22 pairs is not too bad, I suppose. So once you get to the funded account stage, once you've passed the 2 evaluation steps, you'll get a funded account. You will keep your first 5K in profits, and then after that, you will keep 80% of your profits. 20% will, of course, go to TopStepFX. 80% is industry top, so that's a very good, the best profit split you can get. And the fact that you can get your first 5K at 100% is fantastic as well. In terms of growing your account, they don't really have a scaling account like in other programs like FTMO and the Fivers, where you have to hit, for example, you have to grow your account by 10% and then they'll double your account size or anything like that, unfortunately. But TopStepFX allows you to trade with 100 to 1 leverage. So your buying power scales as your balance grows. So as you'd expect, the more money you make, the larger size you can grow, just like if you are trading with your own money, I suppose. So that's the TopStepFX offering. I mean, there's positives and negatives. The positive is the 80% profit split is very good. FTMO is 70%. The Fivers is 50%, just by way of comparison. So 80% is very good. The fact that you can keep your first 5K in profits is excellent as well. The growth scheme here is nothing special really. I mean, for if you want to find the best program for growth in terms of growing your account size a lot, you want to be trading with the Fivers. They offer they will double your account for every 10% you make, unlimited. The FTMO scaling is pretty good as well. You have to make 10%. They'll give you a 25% increase in your account size. That's pretty good, considering they have very large drawdown limits. One thing to mention actually on drawdown, the account loss limit here to bear in mind is the account loss limit is a trailing drawdown limit, I should say. What that means is the more money you make, your loss limit also moves up with you. So if you move up a little bit and then you draw down, your loss limit won't be stuck where it was before. It will be way up near your profit. So you have to be careful when you're evaluating different programs to really look at the terms and conditions of those the drawdown, because trailing drawdown is pretty dangerous, because you could be way into profit and then suddenly you just have a bad day and you hit the profit target. However, with TopStepFX, the trailing drawdown does stop at your account size. If you're trading a 500k account with, let's say, a 2k loss limit, once your loss limit reaches that 500k mark, it doesn't go any higher. So once you're clear of your loss limit, then you can start to take more risk and have more fluctuation in your account. But you have to be very careful, even in the evaluation stage, with the trailing loss limit, because it's taken on your closing balance. So if you have a big winner, you have to just bear in mind now that your loss limit is going to be way higher than it was before. But read the terms and conditions, as I say, for all of these these funded trader programs, and just make sure you fully understand exactly what the rules are of the program that you're trading. So all in all, TopStepFX, I mean, it's a decent program. I'd probably recommend FTMO over it if you want to trade FX. But you know, it's still a decent program. TopStep and TopStep Trader, I think, are probably the biggest company or companies in the industry. So you know, they're going to be good companies to deal with, at least. So yeah, I would definitely recommend trying it out. I'm certainly going to get a funded account with TopStepFX, so I will post some videos in the future once I get my funded account with them, with any more information about what the process was like getting the funding, and what it was like actually trading the funded account with their risk requirements. But in the meantime, take a look at the other videos on my channel if you're looking for a funded trader program. All the ones I've mentioned, I have direct links in the description of this video directly to the evaluation steps. You can go and compare. So hit the subscribe button, comment below if you've traded with TopStepFX or any other funded account programs. Like the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Good luck. Thanks very much.